Hello, welcome to the first video edition of Addicted 2. We're going to get connected with our guest here. I just want to remind everybody to please like us and subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So, now you've got a little bit of time in sobriety. How much time do you have in now?
I've been sober since October 24th of 2025.
There you go.
Not October,
Congrats.
sorry, August.
August. There
August
you go.
24th, 20. See, you told me I'd forget the date, and I do.
Well, you'll learn to celebrate that when they have cake. It gives
Yeah,
you something to shoot for.
there we go. No, it's August 24th, 2025.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, how are you feeling?
Um, it's it's been a lot of work to this point. I do physically and mentally, I do feel a lot better. Um, the and I've received, lucky for me, I've received a ton of support, um, both with the detox, and then since I've got out, I've got some really good close friends that have helped me, guide me in the start of my journey, and also diving into some counseling and whatnot. So I feel good. The big challenge for me is how do I fill my days now? And I'm trying to find my way through that in terms of, um, with when you're addicted to anything, a good portion of your day is spent getting, consuming whatever you're consuming. In my case, it was alcohol. So it's trying to recreate a balance in my life, and also a lot of self care. Um, Although I do feel better, I do get easily tired and overwhelmed, and so I have to remind myself to pace. And this is a lifetime journey. You're not going to solve everything in the first few months, right? So that's my challenge right now.
Yeah, I mean, you raised some good points. I've actually got a little bit of tips for you in that regard too. In the first year, you've got to find out. We call it clearing the fog,
Right.
and then after a while, you may find that you're still not all that happy. I hate to break that to you, but the thing about it is quitting any substances doesn't really make you happy. It just clears all of the fog and the clouds. And then you're left with the raw emotions of whatever it is that you were trying to numb yourself from in the first place.
Right.
I wouldn't recommend that you need to delve into starting to deal with anything heavy duty unless it really comes up and it's an issue for you.
Hmm.
But it can kind of sneak up, and later on when you've built that foundation, it's like building in a house. Then you've got the frame, then you put the doors and the windows and the roof, and you will go along your journey and you'll hit a few of those stumbling blocks. But don't be afraid of that because those are good things. When you face those fears and you no longer fear them and you deal with them really with a clear head, and you may need counseling or whatever it is,
Hmm.
support, like you say, and you can put it behind you. Oh, it's it's there's nothing like it. There's a freedom. I was
Right.
actually sharing on Friday night, and I'm not going to divulge where you live or anything, but I saw a homeless person with a cart, and I was looking at it, and it looked like nonsensical things on there. I'm thinking, wow, everywhere that guy goes, he hauls that stuff with him. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And then it hit me like a brick. Wow, that's nothing compared to the stuff I've been carrying around for the last 40 years that I
Yeah.
didn't need.
Yeah.
And it would just hit me like a brick, right?
Yeah.
And so if I can just kind of share that, even just sharing that, I can see it turns the light on. When I shared that on Friday night, everybody was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what you've got to do. It's nonsensical stuff, but we covet it.
Yeah.
And you will learn to shed that
Right.
so that you don't have to say, to your wife, oh, you want to go somewhere? Hold on. Let me pick up all this load of stuff that we've got to carry with us.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's, it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
but we do it because it's like a comfortable old friend.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. I understand exactly what you're saying. But yeah, I'm grateful for every day now, and I know there's going to be challenges, but I'm up for them, and it's not all going to be. Not every day is going to be a great day, but like you say, you just slowly build. You slowly build on it, and that's what I'll try and do.
The main thing now is you've walked through the doors, which
Yes.
is a huge, big step
Yeah.
in facing fear. And a lot of people don't even get there. And the next thing you can realize that if you're having a bit of an issue, whether it be cravings or just down emotionally or whatnot, pick up a phone.
Yeah.
Pick up a phone instead of going to pick up anything else, and call somebody and go
Yeah.
for a coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no shame in connecting with somebody and saying, you know what, not having a good time here today, was I got some bad news, or I'm overwhelmed, just not feeling it. I need somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing. And
It is.
in our addiction, we're isolated.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed. It's, one of the hardest things I did was to go to go into detox and admit not just to myself but other people that I had a problem that I couldn't control anymore. Um, so that was one thing. But what I noticed is there's as you go through that detox process and sobering up, you can't have any shame, um, and you need to reach out to people. Whether it's professionals or friends or a sponsor. And I've totally put my ego to the side, and I will reach out to people because I don't want to go back. I have no desire to go back to that life, and I'll do everything in my power to avoid try and avoid that.
Well, I do have a theory, if I could share that with you a little bit too. For years and years, I always heard, and I'm sure you've heard about the higher power, and it's a spiritual program,
Yeah,
and that's all well and fine. But my theory is there's the lower power. And the lower power could be whatever you want to name it, but don't think because it's named a lower power doesn't mean it's not powerful.
right,
And when you use or you get angry or fearful, the lower power gets more of a connection than the higher power.
right,
And that's where it can take over and consume you. Now
yeah,
it tells you what to do instead of you being powerful enough. That's why I think it says in the book, no human power alone can beat addiction. Because
right,
I believe we're up against something that's, let's face it, it's a powerful, I think it's an entity. You could label it whatever you want. And I think it's the opposite of the higher power. And by
right,
yourself, we're all defenseless. But when we make connections and when we rely on a higher power,
yes,
it gives us strength. So, like you say, you can't have shame. There's millions of people out there like you and I, and there's probably twice as many that won't admit that they need help.
Yes.
And so, the more that we stand up and kind of fight back and take control of our lives, the better off we are, and
Yeah.
we can achieve happiness.
Yeah. Yeah. Taking that first step is you're going to have a lot of challenges along the journey, but that's the first big challenge and the first big step is to admit you have a problem and reaching out and getting help for it. And I would encourage everybody that to reach out and get that help that you need, and take that first step, because once you do it, it's not as scary as you might have thought it was.
Yeah, I think we build things up in our mind. We're fearful of everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it's a fear, and it's the addiction trying to keep a hold of you too, right? And
Oh, very much so. Because I mean, how do you control somebody? Fear.
yeah.
I mean, we've seen that throughout history, and it continues to be one of the driving factors today.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like you say, you'll have stumbling blocks and things you go through, but um, taking that first step is one of the most important things you'll ever do.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I don't mean to overwhelm you about, later on down the road, but it's just something that I dealt with and a lot of people deal with.
Yeah.
Even people close to me said, I thought I'd be happier.
Yeah.
But the good news is you can be happy, and there's no limit on that. But just doing the doing the step work helps a huge deal. But some people may need a little bit more deeper counseling and whatnot.
Yes.
And the people that I've found that are really happy and successful are the people that have done the work.
Yeah.
If you just do, go to the meetings and don't really connect with people or don't do the steps, excuse me, and dig in, then, they say half half of the work avails nothing, right?
Right.
Because you've got to kind of follow the procedure, and you've got to dig down and find out who you really are.
Yeah. Well, it's like a lot of things in life. You get out of it what you put into it, right?
Yeah.
And in the case of addiction, you need to put a lot into it. I think to reach the outcome that you wanted when you decided, hey, I need to stop using.
Well, we sure put a lot of effort into defeating ourselves and self-destructive habits.
Yes, we certainly do, and that happens over a long period of time, and it's going to take just as long to climb out of it, right?
Well, it takes a little while. I mean, already you were saying about your health. I mean, you're getting around a lot better than you were
Yeah,
4 months ago.
yeah, and I've lost a bunch of weight, and really worked on my diet. Um, of course, with alcohol abuse can come with a bunch of other health ailments, right? So um, I've really put a lot of effort into self care over the last couple months, and I think I'll be better for it in the long run. But um, that's part of the again. It's like I keep calling it part of the journey, but it really is, and it's one of the things you can do and see some immediate positive impacts. So
Oh, you do for sure. I mean, every day you wake up sober
yeah,
is a gift, and I'm sure you're not nearly as sick and tired as you were 4 months ago. I mean,
no,
it's just
no,
ridiculous how we drive ourselves to the ground and then want more without abuse.
yeah, and I'm totally changed, you know, in terms of sleep, and I feel rested, and I'm more mobile now. I lost a lot of my mobility due to issues, you know, related to alcohol abuse. And it's going to take a while for me to totally recover from it, but yeah, even within 2 months, there's you can have some noticeable changes, positive changes, physically. So
Well,
yeah, and even just, I mean, I've lost over 50 pounds already. So that alone, you know, allows me to get out and do things that I couldn't have done before.
hang on one second. We seem to be having some connection issues here.
Okay.
It's not really having a very good connection here on the.
Oh, it says trying to reconnect. Yeah, I see that.
There
Okay.
we go.
There we
I
go.
think
We're
you're
back.
back.
We're back in the game.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a glitch here.
Yeah.
So, how are you finding, even with your personal relationships? I'm sure you're finding those are getting better and better as well, right?
They are, and it's something I've decided to put a lot of effort back into. Those when you're in the throes of addiction, you tend to isolate, and
Yeah.
whether that's with a spouse or your friends, or and if that goes on too long, all of a sudden there's nobody around you anymore, right? And I don't want that to happen. I've got, like I shared with you before, I've got some close friends, and I'm lucky enough to be married to a wonderful person, and you know, people have said already, you know, you're a different person than you were 2.5 months ago, and the person that's going to notice it the most, of course, would be your spouse, and I'm fortunate that she's still here, and is going to stick by me, you know, during my recovery, and through the journey. So, but yeah, and even just people, everybody, people I interact with every day have made comments, and so I didn't realize how noticeable it was when I, you know, wasn't doing so well, but people did notice, and they're noticing now too, that, you know, now that I've made changes, yeah, it's certainly improved my personal relationships all around.
Well, I mean, it's not a secret. I mean, we've been drunk. I've been drunk. I've been stoned, and we think when we look outwards that we're fooling people.
Yeah,
And when you and I and the rest of the world are sober, and we see someone that's intoxicated, you can tell like that
yeah,
the person's not firing on all cylinders. I mean, they're sloppy, they're slurring their words, they're tripping. It's a telltale sign. But when you're in it, you think you're keeping it all together, and
right,
you know, that's part of the fool's paradise that we live in. That we think, we can still function, and nobody knows.
yeah,
People know.
yeah,
I mean, it's fairly noticeable. You might not be able to hide a couple drinks, but
yeah,
after that, it's fairly noticeable. People understand. They can smell it.
yeah,
They
for
can
sure.
see it, right? And the attitude changes too.
Yeah, yeah,
We don't always stay happy, joyous, and free. We tend
yeah,
to be argumentative, belligerent, and
yeah,
you know
sure. Yeah, I get that, but
all of those things go along with it. But
yeah, no, I
what
do.
else have you noticed? What's the biggest improvement other than just how you feel?
Um, the physical part of it is a big one because it's noticeable right away. Um, but I just feel there's this overall sense of freedom now that I don't have to rely on alcohol every day to get through, and it just feels so good to have a clear mind and to start doing some of the things that I enjoy again. Um, I don't know if there's any one thing. It's just it's been a series of small little things I've noticed, um, and getting out. Like I said, I isolated, and I'm out of the apartment um, multiple times a day, and if I was out of here multiple times a year, it would have been
Yeah.
so that's a big thing is getting outside and seeing people again, along with all the physical changes.
And now uh, you were mentioning that filling your days. So I would imagine the wheels are turning that again, now you're realizing that you're in control
Yeah.
of your own destiny and you can start to figure out what you want to do. And what
Yes.
does that look like? So now that looks like maybe setting some goals, hobbies.
Yes. All those things, hobbies. Um, when you're starting to eat healthy again, it's not as easy as you and I have talked about this. Going out and grabbing a burger or um, a good portion of my day I spend um, prepping meals, actually physically eating the meals. Um, but um, so a chunk of my day is spent doing that. A chunk of my day is spent for exercise. Basically, I'm just walking right now.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time doing that. I spend a lot of time with my dog out walking, and even just stopping and enjoying the nice weather and sitting by the river. You find joy in that kind of stuff. Whereas when I was drinking, I didn't. And yeah, I've tried to pick up my hobbies again. I've started with a little bit of reading and some artsy kind of stuff, which hasn't been a hobby of mine, but I thought I'd step outside my box a little bit and try something different. And I do that with other people too. So I'm meeting new people and trying stuff that I've never done before.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's a huge component just going outside. I got the dog there too. It gets my mind off of business and whatever and
Yeah.
disconnecting from the phone, looking at emails or
Hmm.
whatever, even social media and just breathing in and like I say, going
Yes.
walking by the river and whatnot. And that's part of the self-care. It's
It
the
is.
mind portion of being able to what I call breathe.
Yeah. Yeah. Very much so. Um, and it's funny you mention that because I do start my day. Um, I start every morning now with a little morning gratitude meditation and just breathing and before I dive into my day, it's a nice relaxing way to start each morning, and it can really set the tone for the rest of the day for you.
It does a big portion of success that I've seen for many people, not just not just for long time sobriety, but for being happy,
Yeah.
is how you set up your day.
Yes.
And I've said it before, it's no secret. I get up, feed the animals, I go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I do a little bit of stuff there, get a little bit of a sweat going on, come back, have some breakfast, and I do the same thing as you.
Yeah.
Sit down, have a coffee, I've got about 15, 20 minutes time for myself.
Yeah.
Then I might jump in the hot tub. Then, so I've got about 2 hours in the morning where I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
And then if something comes along later in the day, I'm a lot better able to handle it.
That's what I was going to say. You can handle things a lot better. It can it puts your whole it can put your life and your day into perspective before you get started and before the stress hits. And I think you are better prepared to deal with it by
Oh,
having
for sure.
done that self care. Self care is a big part of recovery.
Huge.
And
It
yeah,
is.
yeah. And without you'd have a hard time being successful without it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's kind of under my tips and tricks because the further I delve into it, just having the routine
Yeah,
of what I'm doing day to day really seems to, I need the structure.
I
I
do
could
too.
always get up and go to work,
Yeah.
not an issue, but
Yes.
itchy bitchy and twitchy.
Yeah.
Now I can actually go and, enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's funny you mention that because I we went away for just a little short couple day vacation, and it was the first time I've gone anywhere like that since I quit drinking, and noticed right away that I was out of my routine, and it was overwhelming. I was surprised at how much that the routine I'd started for myself, and I realize I'm very early in the recovery process, but for right now anyway, I need that structure. I need that routine. Um, uh, as I start to recover.
Yeah, but then after a while, even when you do go away,
Yes.
you start to realize, I mean, I went down to the hot springs. It was very nice. But after 3 days, I was relaxed and all of that. But I got away from the gym. You tend to eat more big omelets, potatoes and stuff. I gained a little bit of weight, not crazy, but it was nice to be home.
Yeah.
It was nice to go to get away from the distractions.
Sure.
But too much of that, kind of the good life, because you're having dinner and then I'm thinking, okay, well, what the hell? I'll have some cake. I'm trying to
Yeah.
quit sugar. So you
Yeah.
give yourself a little bit of leeway, and it doesn't take long before you're kind of knocked off your game a little bit
Hmm.
because we feel entitled. And then, so I experience the same thing you do. It's
Yeah.
nice to be away, but too much of that life, after a week, I probably would have packed on 10 pounds, and then I don't feel that great. So now you're trying to give yourself a little bit of relaxation, and you're bought yourself more problems, right?
Yeah. I think it's something in our personalities that we need that structure in our day. Maybe that has is an underlying issue in how we ended up addicts to begin with, or it's one portion of it anyway. But yeah,
Well,
I
because
do.
then we invite chaos.
Yeah, I enjoy the structure for myself. It helps me greatly.
Okay, well, we're almost out of time, but then we're gonna come back. I've got a few more things that I want to ask you about
Sure.
the new journey you're on. So we'll just sign it off. We'll ask everybody if you can please subscribe, follow us on Spotify and YouTube, and everybody have a good day. And we'll get you to come back. Take care.
Thanks.